Hey everyone, and welcome to the For Respawn podcast. I'm Chicken.
I'm Oak Tree.
I'm Griff.
I'm Bucket.
So guys, how's it going?
I know you just saw us last week.
Yeah, I know, right?
Having to get another dose.
That's what happens when there's news going on, man. We used to be
I
a weekly
know
show.
it's E3. Oh wait, no, never mind. That died years ago. This is the Summer Game Fest.
It's the E3 time. It's just not actually E3. It's close
Right.
enough.
I mean, technically there are 3 E's in Summer Game Fest. So there we go. There's one in summer, there's one in game, and there's one in fest.
Thanks, I hate it.
The expression on everybody's face when you said
That
that.
was terrible.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful.
Also, it wasn't just Summer
collect
Games
this up.
Fest. There was also the Xbox
Go, Griff,
Showcase.
go slap your husband upside the head.
I probably should. I should also probably turn it down a little bit. Sorry for people watching the video. I thought I had him turned down, but for some reason, everybody
Mine
changes
decided
volume.
to be like, listen to me.
Well, I mean, y'all all do. Everybody does it. Everybody.
Yes,
So.
yes.
Too funny.
Anyway, so lots of stuff happened this week, and weekend, I guess. Where do we want to start? Because we are not covering every single thing that got shown off.
We'll just start from like Friday and then end on Xbox, and then maybe that'll give us a little bit into the PC game stuff.
Because it's happening right now while we're recording, right?
It's happening in 38 minutes.
38 minutes, yeah.
So we probably won't
It starts
have...
at 3.
Well, unless we really draw this out.
I don't think we're going to draw it out too far, but we might get to see the first couple of announcements. But
Okay, well,
Thanks.
so what happened on Friday? Oh, wow, okay, you guys. Cool.
You're just like, what happened on Friday? And
what happened on Friday?
pause.
I mean, there's just a ton of different games were announced.
I worked. I worked
Uh,
on Friday, so
Looking
like,
through the
I'll
list,
fucking-
did any of those games stand out like right away? I've seen Once Human be played a few times, and I guess it was showed off
Yeah.
for a survival game.
Yeah,
It's
and they're
pretty
doing,
good.
I think they gave a release date as well.
the
for
Power
it.
Rangers game.
The Power Rangers game looks
Sold.
so good.
So
know,
it's a
I just-
5-player co-op.
You know what? That took me down a trail yesterday too. That they're coming out with a GI Joe game as well, same style.
Oh, nice.
So
the same
I'm
company?
so I
Are
don't
they
know.
same?
I didn't
Okay.
check.
I didn't know if it was same developer or not.
But I love it because you had the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game come out recently, did really well, and then people are kind of banking on that retro style feel. So I think that's awesome.
It's the nostalgia pull for the late Gen Z millennial era.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. Those are like those
Or
little
Gen
side
Gen
scrolling
X,
games
sorry.
are.
Late Gen X, yes. Sorry.
Gen
are
Z's like,
great.
what are these?
Yeah.
I know, right?
Nostalgia,
What are
we're getting that
those?
time.
But why are they made up of a whole bunch of little blocks?
I didn't
I
watch the trailer for those. Are they both like 8-bit kind of old
it
school?
looks the
16.
same as the Teenage Mutant Ninja
Oh,
Turtle
okay,
one. It's
16.
yeah. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I am excited about the Harry Potter Quidditch Champions one that came out for Friday. I used to play the Harry Potter Quidditch. I think it was World Cup or something like that. That they had. I played it on, I think it was GameCube. It was on like PlayStation 2, GameCube. And it was such a great game. It really, really was fun. I just don't know how they're going to do with this one. If it's going to be to where it's online only, or if I can have a single player mission thing going on, that type deal, you know, more like a FIFA style game or what. But I'm excited about that. So, I'm excited about it. I don't know if I'm going to do PC on that one or if I'm going to end up putting on one of my consoles for it. So, but it looks good. I thought it was pretty awesome. I was also interested too. No More Room in Hell 2, which is 8-player co-op horde mode. So for those of us that love to do the little horde mode style games, shooters, stuff like that, it looked pretty good as well.
If I'm not mistaken, that one's a bit like Killing Floor, and Killing Floor 3 is coming out somewhat soon. So
Eventually.
Which means
Yeah.
all of our updated computers are going to completely fry because for some reason they cannot optimize their game.
You may not be wrong about that. I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
October 3rd. Wow, a Halloween release for No More Room in Hell 2.
I mean,
Okay.
feels
Yeah,
appropriate,
it says
right?
it's October 31st, 24. Damn. Okay. All right. Good enough price, or if it's on Game Pass, then we will definitely be trying that one out.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna go into early access this Halloween, so
Hell yeah.
that works out good.
Interesting.
For sure.
I'm surprised nobody's
still-
mentioned the civilization thing that everybody else was freaking out about.
Civ 7.
I'm about to mention it, but
Oh,
it's
okay.
I'm going in order.
Oh,
I'm just scrolling through the list.
yeah, you
Looking at
mentioned
things
the
that,
Power Rangers, or Baka mentioned it, and it was far down on the list, so I was just kind of scrolling back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Civilization 7, yes. Like it was about because it started off with one little section and then it moved into another era, and I went, oh, this is Civilization 7. It's gotta be. And then you hear the person talking over the top of it, and I'm just like, yes,
You
please.
guys
Very
enjoy.
excited about that. I even saw, we talked about it the other night when we were all playing games. Red fired it up yesterday.
Yeah, so we
Civ
were
6?
talking about it last night. Yeah, we were
Fired 6
talking
up.
about it. He's like, oh man, I got like 5,000 hours in Civ 5 and like only 15 hours in Civ 6 because life has changed a lot from way back in the day. We
Mhm.
used to the Civ used to be the main time waster,
Mhm.
but that has changed a lot over the years, and I don't know. Maybe Civ 6, maybe Civ 7 will bring that back, but I don't know. It looks like a lot like Civ 6. I think the whole district style that they developed was neat, and I really enjoyed it, but it just didn't draw me in or keep me occupied as much as Civ 5 did. But again, different stages of life. Like back then, it was Civ 5. I would boot that motherfucker up, and I would sit for hours and play it. Now, I don't really get to sit hours and do anything. So
It's
I don't.
Kidding.
facts.
And there's just too many fucking games to play, whether it's on Game Pass or in your just regular Steam library. I just don't have the desire to sit in one game for 8-9 hours now, especially when there's so many good things to play. Can always find something else to play.
Well, I just have a definitive time that I have to have all of my stuff wrapped up so that I can start a new game in October. I'm just,
Yeah,
eyes on the prize.
eyes on the prize.
What else? What else was there? Is that a
I thought it
new
was-
skate?
Yeah, that's what I was about
Yeah,
to
it's
say.
the skate.
I'm very interested to see how that looks because it almost looks like a skating MMO is what it kind of looks
I
like.
kind of wonder if Red's
Which-
gonna play it because that used to be like one of his super hobbies was the skateboard games, and I don't know. I didn't think to ask him about it.
That-
yesterday.
if
that
he wasn't
may-
playing with us, then he was playing skate.
That having an open world might be what makes that game super popular, because if you could just kind of jump into like, again, I just use GTA as the baseline, but if it's like GTA on skateboards, because in my opinion, Forza is like GTA, just you can't get out of the car. You can
But
roam
you're
around.
not
you can
robbing
pull-
anything.
Yeah,
Well,
well, I
he's
mean,
not
you could
talking
just-
about plot line. He's talking
Well,
about
yeah,
the way
but-
that it's designed.
Like
that
open
mechanic.
world, and you can kind of drive around and do things, collect, hang out with your friends, do races and missions, things like that. GTA is the same way. You could just jump into the world, run around with your friends, do missions, however you want to do it. If
But
skate
GTA,
is like that
the
too,
others can affect you, right? So if I drop into the
Yes.
world, I can be affected. Where Forza, they can't.
yeah,
Yeah.
Unless you're part
you're
of my group.
completely separated, which I prefer that style because
Yeah.
it stops griefing, because you can't, except for drivatars. If you're in an offline world and the drivatars are driving around, they don't become see-through. You'll just crash into them.
Or they'll
Like,
crash
they
into
are
you.
real.
Yeah.
Yeah, like those are real.
Pain. Yeah. I just didn't
Yeah.
know if that was
Just
new.
watch out for Griff. She'll just take you out on purpose.
It's not on purpose.
My
Yes, it
first
is.
place, motherfucker.
Well,
Yeah.
the
Oh,
objective
you're in
is
first
to
place?
win.
My first place.
Okay, I'm just doing the objective.
All right,
And
donut.
Griff is hyper competitive.
Yes.
I have
Little bit.
no idea what you're talking about. I'm even wearing a shirt right now that says it's a co-op game, but I'm winning. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, the
Uh,
shirt speaks the truths.
Amen to that. Dune Awakening. I was very confused by the trailer because the way it was introduced by Jeff Keighley, and this could have just been a miscue on his part, which I would
Oh God.
absolutely 100% agree. He was like, they'll tell you how your story's supposed to begin. And then it takes place on Arrakis. You got Paul Atreides talking, and he's talking about what if I didn't do this? What if this didn't happen? What if I could change the future? What if I did this? And it's like, this is all over the place. So are they just telling me that I can make those decisions to build my world? Because my understanding was that it was supposed to be more like MMO like. So how the fuck is that supposed to happen? So, okay.
Yeah.
I was very confused by it. So luckily I think it's supposed to be at Gamescom. So in August. So maybe they'll tell us some more about that, because that was kind of confusing. It was an awesome trailer, but it was very confusing.
Huh. Interesting. The Dark and Darker that Baka and Chicken were playing, I guess that's back on the table.
It's back on. See, it's been on the table. It's just that when Iron Mace was going through all of that stuff, they had to, like, it was right before their early access release.
Yeah, and
They
had
got
to pull
pulled from
everything
Steam,
down.
had to develop their own client immediately so that they could still release it, which they did. And I guess I think it was Nexon that they were fighting with, right?
Yes.
I don't know. I guess something happened, or something behind the scenes has kind of let it go, because it's back on Steam.
It's a settlement, I think, if I remember correctly. I remember seeing something on it. I think there was
Okay.
a settlement on the back end of it.
It's back on Steam, for free to play, but it's free to play, like very, very gently free to play, because you can almost do nothing at all but make a character and only do the little dungeons. That's it.
You can't.
Because you can't have better than white gear. You can't have special items and things like that, because that puts you up into the high roller thing. Okay.
I don't
To
understand.
fight the griefing and the completely skewed power leveling in that game, like as you get more geared, you become just a juggernaut.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to protect the casuals, Iron Mace went ahead and was like, okay, there is a power level limit of what you can do in the normal runnings. So you're only allowed to use like white gear when you're running through the low level stuff. So you can go in with your shit gear, run around, collect stuff, come out, sell it, make money. And then you can go back into the normal one and keep doing that. But you can't ever buy high level gear, put it on your character, and go to the low level dungeon. You got to equip your character with shit gear to go into the low level dungeon. If you want to play with, better gear, you've got to pay for the game and upgrade your account to legendary status, and then you're allowed to do the high roller stuff, which has a higher item level equipment.
So essentially, it's
also
just a
unlocks more
demo version of the
Yeah,
game.
it's like free to try.
Yes.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
free to try, pretty much, like,
Because
which is
you
fine.
can only have one character slot, as I found out. Because it's like, I don't know, like a druid and play around with it for a while, and it's like,
Delete your
okay, I
character
did
and make a new
couple-
one.
Yeah,
That's
it's
your
like,
only option.
Okay. That's kind of that's kind of shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess.
But I
Like
bet
I understand their approach of it for like the smaller dungeons and limiting the gear. That's a great idea. However, the limiting your character slots to one,
That's a little rough.
that's a little
Uh,
shady in my, like, to force you to upgrade to that legendary status for $30
I was
to
about to ask
like
how
it's like,
much.
yeah,
It's
I
for
was
$30.
like, at that point it's like, why don't you just sell the game for $30 and just let me have my shit?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd
they do. It's a
present it as,
trial.
here's
It's
the
a
game.
demo. The
Yeah.
free to play should be advertised as a demo edition, which you get one character and one type of dungeon, or you can basically play any of the dungeons that they have, but you're only allowed up to like a certain power level. That's it. You're locked in a very small cube, and that's it. Try it out. If you like it, buy it, upgrade your status, do whatever you want. If not, you're stuck in that.
Other than the fact that it's PvP, it reminds me of the whole Safer Seas thing that Sea of Thieves is doing. Like where you got the
Pretty
lower
much
end
it's
of it,
the
and to be able
exact
to
same
play
thing as that.
player at higher level, right?
Yeah.
If you want to play in the higher level, fine, you can do the PvP that way. But other than that, you got the lower level for Sea of
Yes.
Thieves. But it's kind of an interesting way to do it, but I think it's mislabeled. I think it needs to just say demo version or something on it.
Yes, that is actually one of the biggest complaints I saw people in the discussion boards on Steam and in the reviews on Steam. It's like, hey, this is not a free to play game. This is a demo. Like the free to play version is just a demo of the game. Do not advertise it as like the game. It's
Yeah.
not. It is far from it. It's just a small sample that you can keep replaying, but that's it. Like you're just stuck in this little cube that you're not allowed to move from.
Your
The,
jail.
the druid was interesting though.
Well, that's
like,
good.
The shape shifting, like the bear I used for killing shit in, and then I didn't try out the other ones. Like the other animal form I tried out was the rat. So I could fit through little small tight areas and just ran past a bunch of people and
said no thanks. I'm just
nobody
gonna
fucking
leave.
noticed me.
Nice.
Well, that's nice.
Oh.
What else?
I looked at Delta Force, the Hawk Ops. It reminds me of old school Rainbow Six Vegas, is what it reminds me of.
Ooh, does it? I looked at that. It didn't look
Mhm.
like that to me, but let me look at that
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, it's a military tactical shooter basically, but that's what it reminded me of. So I'm if that's what it ends up being, I'm very excited. But it
Quote
looks-
me on this. The IGN website sucks. Okay, I'm trying to like click on things and it's slow and it's just. All
Well,
right,
it's
go ahead.
probably also overloaded right now. I'm not saying it's a good website, but it is probably.
The looks like a PC alpha test is scheduled for July, so give us an opportunity to check it. Check it out if we can on that one.
Yeah.
I didn't know that New World was still around.
Oh yeah, it's got a pretty solid player base. Gameplay is pretty good, but
The base is small though.
It's not
Yeah.
breaking grounds anywhere,
Yeah.
but it's doing its thing.
They
If you're
are
playing the game, you're probably going to keep playing it. If you're not playing yet, you're probably not going to start.
Well, you might, but it's not very many. Go
It
ahead.
looks as though with the new expansion, October the 15th, which is Artenim, I guess. Artenim.
I thought it was
Atrium.
Eternum, basically.
Eternum, we'll go with that,
Eternum.
sure. But I guess you're not able to normally do solo for the game story, but now you can once that comes out.
Weird.
So that'll be available to people, which was probably part of the issue that they had before, if I had to guess. But yeah,
I mean, I guess
Um,
it's kind of the same deal as most MMOs where it's like, yeah, you've got your questing that you're doing, but there are going to be required group quests and dungeons that would be part of the story that you can't do by yourself.
Mhm. Yeah.
Power World's new island looks really cool.
Woo. Good job on them. Like that
Mhm.
looks pretty solid.
I was not
We
expecting a
played-
new island this quickly.
Baka
ma-
mentioned
with as
it,
much
and I
money
was
as they
like,
made in
now I wanna do
January."
it.
What? At least they didn't charge like fucking $30 for it.
Arc, you mean?
Preach
Like
it,
Arc?
preach it, Baka. Oh my goodness.
Hey, we have
And
a new
it'd be a separate instance.
$30.
Yeah. Oh god.
It's $30 and it's a separate instance. You have to have both.
Oh.
It's an expansion.
Yeah, no
Yep.
kidding. We played it a lot for like a solid month, put quite a bit of time into it. We kind of faded off of it. We'll probably play it again when it's fully released and start entirely clean and just kind of run through it. Like I don't say run through it, but play through it again.
Papa!
Yes, I know,
I
Griff.
wonder if
gotta
by
restart.
then they'll have a habit to where everyone in a guild has their own separate pals.
Gotta
with-
make
with-
suggestions, bro. You gotta tell them what
I
you
did.
I'm
want.
pretty sure that's probably
Okay.
one of the biggest suggestions is if I have a
Either
guild,
that or just increase the amount ridiculously.
Yeah,
mean,
like let me make a guild, and then you can, I don't know, everybody's allowed one teleport or one little thing per
Like,
person in the
one
guild,
PAL
and then you can
box?
kind of one PAL box per person in the guild, and then you can kind of build, because I know there are some people out there that want to like build settlements and places so that you can kind of have pals, but
Right,
oh
right.
my god.
yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
that's red.
But I couldn't imagine how bad that would be if you had like 4 PAL boxes lined up and like or 5, and the CPU was trying to run all 4 of them with all the PALs out at
Oh
one
my
time.
god.
Oh god.
But like the
basically, there'd be
community thing would have to be like a guild effort thing, like an agreement of
Yes.
everyone wanting to do that.
it'd they'd have the whole thing set up as they turn around and they'd go, okay. So we're gonna put 3 recommendations on here. The first one's gonna be what you have to be able to play it. The other is what we to recommendation to in order to play it well. And then the other recommendations is if you want to put these scenario with all these boxes set up. So you're gonna have to run a 4090 Ti along with all this other stuff on the server alone. You know, I mean, just Jesus.
Ooh. Or they can just make it so that like like you put one down, the entire guild can access it and put pals down and whatnot, but you have to share like who or like how you want to build your bases. You got to think it like as a community. Like this is going to be our mining base. You can put pals down. There's only 15 for all of us, so it'd be smart about how you equip your pals and things like that. But we'll see. This is just the first major patch, which is pretty fucking good, and it's 6 months later. So not too bad in development time. So we'll probably see another major one in December or so.
Oh, hands down, you will.
So good on them. They're taking it the right way. They're using their money properly with all the money they made.
All the money they made. When was it? June 27th? Yeah. Updates on June 27th for those interested.
Which I think is just a little over 6 months after they released.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Anything else from Game Fest that y'all saw?
I mean, I'm looking at
Jeff Keighley said that it lacked luster, and I agree with him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. Well, he did try to temper expectations beforehand, so he knew it wasn't going to be anything major.
Yeah. Power Rangers
Valorant's
good.
coming to console for those people that are interested in Valorant, which I thought was interesting. It's a
I tried
small announcement.
Valorant, but
not your style, if I had to guess.
I would guess.
Not really, no.
I'm interested too. Are they going to separate the console?
They
version?
absolutely have to. No offense to the console players, but there's no way you're going to play a CS style game with controller and compete. Like that game is
you can with auto aim, but I don't think
with
that's
auto
fair,
aim.
But I don't think that's
Yeah.
fair with PC people because that game is based on how precise you are with a mouse.
Yes, it's a high skill based game. And
Yeah,
like that
I
one.
feel like it has to be separate.
Yeah,
I
you
really
can
do.
run 2 separate tournaments and have that, and maybe do exhibition matches between the two, and that's fine. But you want to try to keep those communities separated to keep it on even skill grounds.
Right.
Other words, either way, one's going to have an advantage over the other if you combine them. Either
Yes.
you give auto aim to the console players, and it gives them
They
stick
dominate.
edge over or you do no auto aim, and the PC players are just going to mop the floor with them.
Right.
Yep,
Which
so
is
one or the
why
other.
all of your streamers and everybody that are playing like Call of Duty have moved over to having a controller in
controller.
their hand because of that auto aim.
Mm.
So
Yep. Yeah.
There was one dumb trailer that caught my eye, and if it gets put on Game Pass or somewhere I can play it for free, I'll probably just check it out. And I think Baka would too. It's that Killer Bean game.
I was looking
Yes.
at that.
yes, it looks so
Yeah.
good.
I thought it looked kind of funny and fun and terrible at the same time. But if you'll let me play it for free, I'll check it out.
Killer beans.
I mean, it's kind of cute, right? It's an angry bean with guns. And I saw they did another trailer for Slitterhead too. On that one, I think that the original, back in the day, the original teaser they showed us made that look super interesting, but I am way less interested in it now.
For that trailer.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it feels like one of the things that they tried to sell it on was it's from some of the people that have worked on it for the original Silent Hill team, but it doesn't feel as ambiently horror. It feels more action after watching that trailer, and that's not what I wanted out of it, which is fine. I'm sure that's going to be a thing that a lot of people do like, but I am now less interested in it.
If it's on Game Pass, you could try it.
Well, that's true.
Watching this, it hints at me Evil Within vibes.
Yeah, kinda. Some of it definitely
can see
kind of
that.
gives that feel to it, and then some of it doesn't. So I don't know. Guess we'll find out. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, I'm interested. That's kind of gross, but typical games from the Silent Hill creator.
So,
Neat.
was there anything else from Game Fest though? Or we wanna talk
From
about
that
the
part of
ads?
Game Fest, I don't know. I think that was most of the ones that I was interested in. I'm sorry for the people who are watching who are like, "Why did you talk about this game?" I don't know what game you're talking about. So.
Well, I also think that the list that I'm looking at doesn't have all of the things that you guys have mentioned, so I think I'm looking at a shorter list anyway.
I'm looking at the little all the games featured, the little draw thing at the top. Because if you go
It
through
says
like,
see all.
yeah, that's what I'm looking at through there.
Okay, well I think that I'm.
Because they didn't make little write ups and videos for
And I'm
all of
afraid
them.
to
I just
open
kinda
another
click on
webpage
it.
for IGN because they autoplay videos at maximum volume, and I'm not doing that.
Hence why I have IGN muted entirely as a website, especially while we're recording. I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, I should definitely do that. We just don't usually use them, which is unfortunate because I guess we'll have to in the near future, but it is what it is. Okay, well then, moving on. What else?
I think that was
what else from
the main things.
Yeah, those were
We
the
watched
main-
today. Today was Xboxes, and I have to say, after watching that, holy shit! Good job. Xbox had a fucking great showing. A lot of games on that list,
Their
and I'm
last
like,
3
yes,
years have been really
yes,
good, in my
yes.
opinion.
It just shows that they're navigating towards a more of a game development standpoint. I mean, like the only thing they said about their consoles was like, "Hey, we got these 3 versions of the consoles, more options," and then they just kind of moved on back to the games. And I was like, "Yes, more games. Show me."
Yeah, I watched trailers. I didn't watch any of the actual showcase because Nugget.
That's all there are, just trailers.
Well, yeah.
There's no actual part of the showcase other than Phil talking at the one part, one of the other guys talking at another part, and another person talking at
Yeah,
the
I
end.
didn't
That was
watch
it.
them at all. I just
Like,
picked out the
I-
trailers that I thought looked interesting.
Yeah, there
I
wasn't
think
a lot of information.
watching all of these, all of the trailers were pretty interesting. I mean, I may not play all of those games, but all of the trailers were pretty good, solid pieces.
They started off with a bang.
I kind of tuned out with Black Ops though, but that's
Yeah,
just-
I didn't watch that
It
one.
also makes me feel super fucking mega old that they're talking about history and it was in the 90s. Like to the new kids that are playing Call of
Yeah.
Duty, they're like, "Oh wow, did that actually happen? That was so long
in
ago." And it's like,
91, yeah, it takes place in 91. Oh.
is that guy president? Holy shit, he's so old. It's like, oh my god.
Oh no. Oh, thanks.
No.
I
Congratulations.
hated.
Congratulations, we're
Oh.
really old. Our history is now being made into video games.
Right.
I'm being fact checked for historical accuracy.
We
Well,
are
it
the
was
fact
so
checkers.
long ago, we don't know.
Of history. The one called mixtape irritates me because that is not a fucking tape. That is a CD. Goddamn it.
Yeah, he said it right off the bat. I died laughing because he was just slightly ahead of me because I'm watching in 4K and it's slower the way that they send that out. And
Right.
so all I hear him say is, "That's not a mixtape, that's a CD." And I'm like, "What?" And about that time, it pops up on my screen. I went, "Hey."
I mean, yeah, but
All
it's
I have to
because-
say is Baka old. Look at this old guy complaining. That's a mixtape. It's like, oh my
It's
god,
because
kid.
it's
That's
like
not a tape.
the original version of playlist in physical form is mixtape, regardless of what that physical media might be.
Right.
Oh,
You're
you
correct.
complain about that, you show your age. That's all I'm saying. You
I
show
wrote
your
mixtape
gamer.
on my
Here's
CDs
the
that I
thing.
made. Thank you.
Here's the thing with that. I was complaining about that even when I was at age range because people would still call them a fucking mixtape, and I'd be like, that's a CD. That's not a
I
tape."
called it a mixtape. You want to fight about it? It just meant it was a playlist because we didn't have playlists in our vernacular yet.
I'll fucking fight you. For
I will fight you. You just wait.
All right, children. On
He's
to the
threatening
rest.
me.
Okay.
First one, of course, that got my attention right off the bat is going to be Doom: The Dark Ages.
Yeah, that was weird. I was like, are they
Yeah.
showing like Skyrim or something? Because it was
No,
all castles
so
and
I
stuff.
can't with.
It looks so
there
good.
There are texts in Doom Eternal that hint that this is a thing, and so basically, this is the prequel for Doom and Doom Eternal, which I'm very excited about. The shield is badass. I thought it was just
Yeah, that
really
looked
well
cool.
done. To add
It's a
that
chain.
in.
Like I want to make get a Space Marine miniature now with like a shield, probably like a Space Wolf.
Mhm.
With the shield, and then modify it to have the little chainsaw, and then his other hand have a chain sword.
That'd be neat.
Huh.
Hell yeah.
That's too much of a danger to myself. I would
That's why you're not using it.
yeah.
And then they had a gun that shoots skulls, which was
Yeah.
badass. I was like, yes.
Oh man.
So fantastic. Like, it was really well done. It had the bullet storm chain system in it as well, which I thought was pretty neat. I'm really super excited about that. I thought it was a good presentation, and it showed a little bit of what I felt was actual gameplay, which everybody else is like showing cinematics, which is why I was mad at State of Decay 3, because this is the third time I think we've had a trailer from them, and all of it has been freaking just cinematics. And it's like, give me a little bit of actual footage of the game. That's what worries me. There's no date right now that I know of, because they revealed originally back in 2020.
Oh, for State
for-
of Decay? I thought you meant
Yeah,
I,
for State of Decay. They revealed originally in 2020, and here we are. You're still not showing me any footage of the game.
I'm interested to see what they're going to change, because from 1 to 2 was a like a sequel, not
Right.
really the kind of like, oh my god, it's a sequel. It's just like, okay, it's more of the same. It's good. I like it. It's fun. What are we going to do the next time? Like what kind of change? The cinematic was sad and tragic, but it also kind of represents what it is like to be in a zombie universe.
Right.
Heartbreaking, but
everything is in decay, including society and people and shit. So
yeah, well, sadness.
yeah, the Doom Moon was neat though. It doesn't have like a release date or anything though, does it?
What for Doom?
2020.
That's okay. They were just like, that's like a official trailer, but it's kind of more of like a teaser still too, because it doesn't have
Mm-hmm.
date.
Yeah,
date.
it'll. If I had to guess, it'd probably be fall of 2025. But it says 2025 at the end of it. So
Oh. What came after that? Is this? I don't know if this list is in order, so I'm not trying to jump ahead because apparently that's what I was doing on the other list.
I think Oak is going through the main list, and
I
then we
actually
can go
know
back
the
through.
order.
Okay.
He wrote
I
it
wrote
down.
I wrote it down as I went. State of Decay 3 was the next one on the list. Then the next one, which I'm going to hand this over to
Oh
Griff,
yeah, I thought
Oh.
so.
Was
is
it that one?
Dragon Age. Yes.
Do y'all feel like you were watching a cartoon at parts
Yes.
of that?
I mentioned in Discord that like while watching it, I was like, there's something really off with this art style.
Yeah, I don't like it. Like,
I would have been fine if it was its own IP.
Yeah,
if
like,
it was an
if it
original
was-
IP, because I was like, oh, the presentation's great, everything else, and then all of a sudden, Baka goes, "This is Dragon Age." I was like, what?
yeah, if it wasn't like a main entry in the franchise, I think that I would
Yeah.
be more okay with it. If this was a side story, but this is the next game, and you
Yeah,
kind
this is
of
the
went
next
like,
piece.
instead of it being looking good and realistic, you went cartoony, and some of the characters / phrases that were thrown out were kind of cheesy. And I know that, as Chicken mentioned to me earlier, this is not going to matter to people that don't know. But one of the main draws is the two characters that you start that with are Scout Harding and Varric. Okay, cool. Scout Harding was from Dragon Age Inquisition, and I love that we're seeing her again. Varric is going to be one of our main characters, but they fired the person that writes Varric before the game. So I'm not exactly happy about that. You're bringing in a character that has a lot of established specific things about him, and somebody new will be writing that, and I do not like that. But again, if you don't know, it doesn't matter to you. So I'm trying. I just
I mean, do we know why the person was fired?
it was when they let a lot of people go, like when EA was doing a lot of massive house
Oh,
cleaning. It was just one of
I
those
gotcha.
things where it's like, oh, but they've
He
been
was one
with
of the
series
casualties.
for like
I gotcha.
30 years, and
We got to trim the fat so our CEOs can continue making $200,000 an hour.
I also think that there was like an artistic dispute behind the scenes, but that's not confirmed.
I'm pretty
so-
sure there were several disputes during
you
the
know,
development of
they
this game early
changed
on.
the name this week. Like, they announced it as Dragon Age Dreadwolf and decided to change the name right now. This game is launching in fall.
I don't know that they changed it now. I think they announced the change now.
Why
Yeah,
would
they
you have
definitely
announced it
changed the
as
name.
Dreadwolf before?
Yeah, but they announced it a year ago as Dreadwolf.
I
and
know
now
they
they've
did.
changed
Was it a year ago?
And everything
I thought it
that
was
they
longer
have
than
talked
that.
about since then, all the developers and everything, they've used Dreadwolf as the thing, and not once did we see any hint of that in the trailer. It feels really telling to me that got left by the wayside. That is a secondary side plot thing to whatever we're actually doing here. We're not dealing with that.
It gives me the impression when they announced it or when they were working on it as Dreadwolf, like probably the aesthetics, the graphic style and everything was probably going to be more realistic, and then somewhere higher up got their hand in the cookie jar and went, no, that we need to make it more cartoony, because that's what our reports say is super popular right now. And
it's easier, it's a cheaper animation style.
I was going to say, it's cheaper animation, and it was 2 years ago. It was exactly like 2 years and 7 days ago, which Dreadwolf was announced.
Yeah.
So you got 2 years. So like
2 years
made
of being Dreadwolf.
So yeah, somebody made a decision along the way, and it could have been a plotline decision where they go, this makes no sense to call this Dreadwolf.
That's part of it, I'm sure. Based on how they showed this off and the fact that now we're defying the gods and protecting the veil. Oh, Avengers assemble! You know, it's the Dreadwolf stuff got thrown out pretty hard. It's gonna be something they'll probably be like, oh, in the background, look at that shadow figure. Isn't his head so shiny? Oh, okay, he's gone now.
And please take the V off.
Yeah,
it does not need the
Veilguard. Stop. It doesn't need
just
the
Veilguard.
We had Dragon Age Origins, Dragon Age 2, Dragon Age Inquisition, and now you throw a "the" in it. If you wanted "the," it should have been the whole time.
It's the freaking Ohio State people. The Ohio State University. Stop it. It's just Ohio State. Same thing. Here. Stop it.
Yeah. I'm not impressed. But I also know that impressing me would have been kind of a hard sell. But I also like immediately went to the Reddit and everything. I'm not the only one. I understand like my argument with the Silent Hill stuff is, oh, they're so jaded by what they had before, because that's a remake, and those people are being very harsh on stuff that doesn't matter. Like, oh, the fog's not thick enough right here in this one scene. You guys, I'm freaking out. Well, who cares? It's still got fog.
I mean, the fog was thick in the original just to hide some of the rush to work anyway.
Well, and some of the load distance and things like that, so that you couldn't see ahead. It was a lot of reasons.
There's a lot of technical stuff.
This is like, okay, now it looks like a cartoon. Okay, there's too many characters that are throwing out one-liners. It feels like, it does feel like Avengers Assemble, and I don't know. If it's on Game Pass, I'm definitely gonna do it that way, but I'm gonna be one of those that waits and sees on this one, because I don't think it's gonna feel like a Dragon Age game.
I don't think this game is getting released this year like it says it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
This game says fall 2024. And
yeah, it's coming out very soon.
And but it worries me when we're in June and I don't have a release date.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fall 2024, but no actual solid release date means it's not done yet. They're still trying to make it work before they have to put that day one patch on it. So it's got to be at least somewhat functional so that they can fix it when it launches.
If it's that close, then they're done. The game is already packed up and ready to be sold. They're working on the patch for the first one.
Well,
like whatever problems they have, they're trying to get them fixed before the game actually releases.
But it is
EA is like, this is your release day.
It is telling that they changed the name right now, and that it says fall, but there's no release date. That's two things that already should make you very suspicious, and the different art style should also add to that. That's just like a layer on top of I'm kind of sus. So I'm kind of like, and I get it, like I understand that I personally am in kind of a cranky mood today anyway. I'm trying not to be too hard on it, but it does not look or feel like Dragon Age. Like, if you did not put the Dragon Age name on it, I would have no idea, short of the fact that you added Varric and
the only reason that it clicked to me, where where I was like, oh, this is Dragon Age, was that they meet like at that part in the trailer where they're like talking about Darkspawn. I was like, oh, that's what this is.
I knew what it was right out of the gate, because Varric and Harding are important to me,
when it showed Varric and Harding, I was like, oh, this is Dragon Age. Oh shit.
But yeah, the characters don't look like these are your party members, so it's kind of. I also have heard a rumor or read a rumor this week, and I don't know where I saw it, so I don't know if it's true or not, and I hope not. but one of the things that I read was that they have scaled down the companions, and so your party is a party of 3 instead of 4, which is weird to me because it means it's you and then 2 companions instead of. So I guess they're going Mass Effect instead of, you know, your traditional Dragon Age comp or something like that. It just feels like for fantasy games, 4 is the sweet spot for your party size. But I guess maybe they don't feel the same.
Tank, healer, and 2 DPS.
I mean, assuming you
Yeah,
have a
usually.
healer, because Inquisition you didn't.
Ugh.
Yeah, in
Spooky
Inquisition you needed a tank, and then generally tank and a melee, like tank and a physical DPS and your mage, and then whatever other party member you just liked. So I guess, I mean, I can see why they would, because they felt like that whatever party member you like could just be cut out, maybe. But I like.
I thought their
the 4.
design with Inquisition, when they removed the healer aspect of it, was a very interesting choice.
I didn't hate it, but I also didn't. I mean, I guess it's because everybody wants to play an offensive mage, and if you are the offensive mage as your character, because obviously the mage is meant to be the main character. Like, they really want you to be the mage in the Dragon Age games. I never am.
Yeah, but you have 4
But
characters, and
you
there were
have
only
4
3
characters,
roles.
and I never play mage because I don't find it fulfilling. But I guess most players want to be the cool, like, DPS mage, and then that means you have to stack another mage in your party to be the healer. And so they're like,
So,
well, players don't
you
like that. We
either-
cut that out. I don't know.
There's warrior, rogue, and mage. Those are your only 3 classes. You're running 2 of something.
Well, yeah, but with warrior, you're running
you're running 2
two different
mages-
kinds of, like, one's gonna fill a tank role and one's gonna fill a DPS role, most likely.
Well, that's fine.
And with your
Same
rangers,
thing with mages. Run a healer role and a DPS role.
I mean, I don't disagree
then
with you. I'm on your side about it. I'm just saying, I guess they wanted people to roll a mage and feel like they're the only mage that matters, but that's dumb considering
What the hell
way,
does that matter? I
that's
want to be the only
dumb
warrior that
considering
matters.
they gave you 2 other mages that were very.
I mean, I want
important.
to roll a warrior or something like that. That logic is just out the window.
I don't
Out
know.
the
I
window.
don't know what their reasoning for it was. Okay, I'm just taking guesses.
It was just poor gameplay decision, in my opinion.
Well, I don't think we'll ever have another cool mage like Dorian, so I'm sad about that. Although it does feel like they tried to vary what the classes are with the way that they showed these off too. Where they're like, oh look, the Veil Jumper, she's a mage. Oh look, the Warden. Okay, you could be anything with the Warden, could be whatever. But I don't know. We'll see in fall. My guess is we won't. My guess is we be delayed, but we will find out.
My guess is in August at Gamescom we'll see more stuff that's there, and hopefully actual gameplay that also is.
Oh yeah,
concerning
all
me.
that just that in-engine footage, and it's like, meh.
Like, show me actual gameplay. Stop showing me the freaking cinematics again. Like, at least with Doom, I got both. But that's not showing me both at all. Like, at all. A couple quick ones. Starfield is getting an update that's actually adding content to the game.
Good on them.
that I got bored
Um,
while watching the trailer for.
Yeah. Fallout 76 is having its first map extension. Was it
That is
2016?
cool.
2016. I think is when it first-
2018, I think.
2018. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's going to be called Skyline Valley.
And you can be a ghoul now.
In 2025 is the goal.
2025.
Yep.
I haven't watched that one yet. It wasn't on my list, and now I'm sad.
Yep. So yeah, 2025 for that one. That was there, and then one that caught my eye. It was completely unexpected. Is Expedition 33.
Oh
It's-
yeah, it has.
Yes.
It's Claire Obscure Expedition 33. I don't know why you need that. Is that a franchise that already exists? Because I thought
have
this
no
was
idea.
totally new.
No idea.
I think that's kind of dumb to stick that on the front. Just call it Expedition 33 because everybody's gonna. I
Yeah.
thought that looked neat until they showed how the gameplay worked, and then I was sad because it's Final Fantasy turn-based gameplay, and that's not my jam. That takes me out of games so fast.
I would. It would be nice if they did the same route that Final Fantasy's done recently, which is allow you to be doing one or the other. But it does look like it's going to be straight old school JRPG turn based.
Yeah. What's this character doing? Who
Is
they
there?
targeting?
It looks awesome though.
Yeah, it does
really
look
looks
really
awesome.
good. Like I'm interested in the story and everything, and the art style looked neat. But yeah, that
maybe Chicken will play it, and
turn-based-
you can
Well,
just watch
yeah,
it.
that's one of
That's
the
what I
things we
told her. I
talked
was like,
about.
I'll just play it. And also, the PC gaming show is going on too, and I think they are revealing a Pal World spinoff. Like
A
it
Power World
Spin-off?
spinoff?
it well, not a spinoff from them, but it almost looks exactly what Pal World is.
Oh,
Little fluffy,
Yeah.
cute animals that you build a farm with. You pet. Like it
Among
looks.
the Wild.
It looks exactly like Pal World, just different creatures.
Well, yeah,
Plays like them.
because Power World showed that the Pokemon formula can work outside of fucking Pokemon and be improved upon.
It's like Stardew meets Pal World. That was pretty neat. But I didn't want to jump off of that. It's on right
Oh,
now, so I
yes.
figed we'd jump in.
okay.
throw
I
that
was
in
like,
there.
wait, there were other trailers from the Microsoft.
No.
one I
There's
wanted
still
to talk
plenty of
about.
stuff I want to talk about from Microsoft,
Okay,
but
keep
I turned it
going.
on and I wanted to be like, all right, that's cool.
Next one on the list was South of Midnight, which we got a little bit of look at
I did not watch that one.
last year recently.
Yeah, I think it was
it's
last
the
year.
one-
Yeah, revealed
takes-
new title last year. Yes.
Yeah, it takes place in the swamps of Louisiana, based on what I saw. But kind of a fantasy version of that. In the fact you got like giant fish and big alligators and all that type of stuff. So it's kind of neat. I'm wondering if it's apocalyptic based on the way that everything's kind of designed. But Baka and I were both discussing because it's got one of those where the frame rate is a little bit off.
Yeah.
And they do that on purpose, but that's what they do with the multiverse Spider-Man movies that have come out recently.
Mm.
And we're both very concerned because there were two games that did this, that did that same style, that this is going to be the new thing. So here we have worked all this all this time to get the frame rates as high as we possibly can, the smoothest picture we can, and then art-wise we're going the opposite direction. So
I mean, maybe we are.
maybe
Maybe.
it's a fun-looking game
Interesting.
though. I really liked that one. I'm going to ask all three of you on this one.
Hmm.
You got a trailer for the WoW retail expansion.
I
Oh,
didn't see it. Wasn't on my list. I hate this list. I thought it was
the
all of
War
them.
Within.
That's why you have to scroll up and look at it. That's why you go through the see all thing instead of
I
just
thought I
what
was
they
on
wrote.
See All.
No.
But with it's called The War Within.
It's a trilogy, all right. It's they announced 3 expansions that they're doing back to back to back
Okay.
to finish, which I believe is to finish out World of Warcraft. Is actually be done with Azeroth.
Okay.
Some of their
So,
player base is going to be
What it looked like
furious.
near the end, and based on what she was saying during it, and then Baka chimed in a couple times while we were watching, because you know me, I know nothing about Warcraft.
What?
I know, right? So he would chime in a couple times in there what he kind of thought was happening. But
I mean, just from what they've shown, even from BlizzCon, I mean, it just seems like oh look, a Titaning's awakening.
Not
Out
a
of the
tightening, not just a Titan, the
The-
Titan. It's the only. There has never been another Titan born since the beginning of time, since the ones that have been there. This will be the first time since like the beginning of time that a Titan has been born. All the other ones have been destroyed or killed, thanks to the Legion. This is the first time that if this one awakens, who knows what kind of fractured universe that they're going to make afterwards, which I think they're going to use it as a soft reboot into the next generation. Because
Maybe.
if they're doing a 3-year, 3 expansion style, then this is to lead to something. Otherwise, they would just waste a huge opportunity here. Like, I mean, if you just kind of do a 3-part trilogy into the end of, you know, our planet that we've played on for the last almost 30 years, that would be
mean,
anticlimactic.
My experience, like, see, Warhammer, the original fantasy universe did this, where they led up to the end times before they rebooted into Age of Sigmar.
Ooh.
So which changed up races and factions and all sorts of shit. Like some of them got taken out completely, and other ones got completely reworked or split apart. It was a big reboot of it. Vampire the Masquerade did that. Like through the years of games, anytime a franchise does this big lead up to like an end, it always ends in a reboot.
Yeah, I figured this is their opportunity to completely upgrade their game, their systems, everything, start over. Because as I've seen, or as everybody has seen from League of Legends, if you pile on too much, the spaghetti gets too thick and you can't handle shit. Like your game, you start getting bugs that you'll never, ever, ever get out because it's so entangled into the deep root of the system that there's almost no way you take it out and the whole thing collapses.
EverQuest did that, and each expansion fixed a bug, a major bug. But the issue is it made more bugs. It's like, yes, we fixed the bug with the invisible troll that kills players on the boat, but
we've now broken the boat and it doesn't exist anymore. Just the troll.
No, the boat is fine. Now you have other weird things that pop up somewhere. Like, well, now the invisible troll is in this very specific spot in the city, and if you stand right here, he'll smash you, and you can never get your stuff back without dying over and over again.
Yeah.
Too funny.
Guess we'll find out.
I think it'll
and
be
this here's this is part of the reason I'm concerned for the Dragon Age Veilguard thing, is because we saw the new remake for Metal Gear Solid 3 pop up.
God. So good.
Has no release date, mind you. Didn't pop one up at least. Had no release date pop up, but we saw actual game footage. It looked good, like the way that they've done redesign, because you can only do so much. But we got actual game footage, and there's no release date, versus no game footage and a release date.
A release window.
Release window. There you go. Which
but
makes
let
me
us not
think,
forget, if we're gonna go by technicality, once fall starts, winter doesn't start until mid-December, so it could be like December 1st, and they'll still be like, we made it.
Metal Gear Solid says to be announced in 2024, so maybe a 24 release. They just don't have it nailed down.
Oh, they're saving the release date for Keely's other show.
I mean, it looks so good, though.
I just want to know if you can outweight the old man and just make him die of old age again.
Is that a thing that you could do in the other one, like the original?
Yeah, you have to explain that, Baka, because he explained it to me too.
In the original Metal Gear Solid 3, at least on the PlayStation, there is a boss fight with a really old man who was a sniper, and it can be kind of a bitch, because if he spots even just a little bit of you, he's gonna fucking kill you. However, the neat trick to get past it is at that point is to like bring change the current date of your system. I want to say like a few weeks or something like that, something ridiculous. And so if you go and do that and then load the game back up, he dies of old age.
Metal Gear Solid has always had
weird,
unique
really
systems.
Well, I mean,
yeah, like unique
Hideo
stuff.
knew what the fuck he was doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I said, no doubt.
dude,
I
but
do not
shit.
doubt how incredibly talented he is, but that doesn't mean he's not crazy or
he's definitely
just
crazy.
He's got his own.
I
way
want to
he
know
thinks.
who the fuck was the first person to go through and play the game and figure that out.
Somebody, I can guarantee the way it started was, man, that guy's old. I wonder if you could just like make him die of old age, and then like, I wonder if I could change the date on my console. Let's try it. Oh my god, he actually died. Holy shit!
Or it was one of those things.
Like you go up and you find his body and he's still sitting in that site. He's still laying in that position, and it's like, oh well, he's dead.
I feel like it was somebody changed the date for a different reason and went back to that game and was like,
hey,
wait, I think my game's broken, and then they go over and see him dead. And
yeah,
went,
that was my guess, is they changed it for another reason.
Or they just got stuck on it, left it, came back like a couple months later, and he's dead.
Could be that too.
In Metal Gear Solid 1, I mean, Psycho Mantis, like if you have it plugged into the first controller port,
Mm-hmm.
you can't fucking touch him because he knows exactly what you're gonna do. You
Yep.
have to you had to unplug the controller and stick it in port 2 in order to fight him.
The first time doing that, I lost my shit. I was like, "Why is my controller dying?
Well,
Why
and-
is my controller
Well,
dying?"
the other thing about it is too is if you had your little disc, your slot to the for all your saves in it.
Yeah, the memory card. He if you had certain games saved on there, in conversations with him, he would read off what the games and stuff you had.
And then
Yeah.
it would threaten to delete them.
Yep. Like,
Mhm.
it's crazy how good those games were. Like, that kind of shit stands the test of time. Period.
We'll be interested to see what kind of element that they can put in that with the remake of that one. Since Hideo's not involved with it, what do? You know,
You copy the original game. Like,
as
don't
best you can.
Yeah,
don't
you-
try
you-
to make your own spin on it. You fucking respect.
You don't fuck with the madness.
Yeah, like that's part of what makes that game so fucking incredible.
Sea of Thieves get another update, which will allow you to be able to basically have Flameheart ship and go out and destroy things if you can take it over. And you can go
My
out and
theory is that you can make an agreement with Flameheart and take his ship out, but it makes you the bad guy of the server, and it marks you so that everybody else can hunt you.
well,
And if you get
says
sunk,
on there
you
you're
get
the
all your
villain.
stuff.
You become the
Yeah,
villain.
so
So I
his
think
ship is so big too, so it's going to take multiple galleons to take you down. And if you can take it down, they get all your loot. So I think that's a pretty neat thing. You're creating a bad guy if you're not going to have like an overarching one. Just let the
Yeah.
players be the bad guy. That is something like a couple of streamers that I watched
way
play.
anyway. For those
Yeah,
of
I
us that have played it.
That's what I was thinking.
But this way it'll draw people to you because you got the big ship.
The Flintlock, which sees Flintlock Siege of Dawn. That's one of the ones that's supposedly Souls-like that doesn't look Souls-like to me, but
Yeah, it looks okay. I think it'll
um,
probably be fine.
I thought graphically it looks pretty good. I'm interested to kind of see how that one ends up, like reviews wise and stuff like that. It kind of reminds me of the Pinocchio one that you played,
Liza
Liza
P.
P.
What, Liza P?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the kind of feeling I was getting for it.
Next, Age of Mythology is getting a remake.
And it's called Age of Mythology Retold, and I wanted to pull out this classic right here, the
Oh, look at you.
original Age of Mythology, and it's double disc. That's right.
You
Two
can't even play that.
discs.
You don't have a disc drive.
I do have a disc
Oh,
drive.
do you?
Whenever I build computers, I always put a disc drive in there. One, because I'm old, and I
have
still
an
want my disc
external
drive.
one that I
Uh,
just pop in.
I even have the product key on the back that is still perfectly legible that I'm not going to show you.
Nobody's stealing my
Uh,
game.
It even says on here, do not make illegal copies of this disc. Oh yeah, like that was really deterring back in the day.
Please don't do the bad things.
Yeah, right.
Please don't do the bad things. But yes, Age of Mythology is a grade A.
It looked really good.
Civilization
Too.
style. Okay, simulate. Damn, I can't think of the word. Strategy game.
Strategy game.
It's super good.
Then you have Perfect Dark, the new remake.
Are
got
they
gameplay
actually
footage
calling
of
it Perfect Dark Next Gen? Or is that just...
No,
I
That's
think
a
it's just
denotation.
for next
Okay.
generation.
No,
Okay.
yeah.
I saw that and
Yeah.
I was like, but it's not on the thumbnail. I don't like the Next Gen part. I hope they don't actually call it that.
No, it's
Okay.
just Perfect Dark.
It looked cool,
Uh,
though. I watched
It
that
looks
one.
really good. Graphically, it looks really good. They've eliminated a lot of the purple from the old ones. That's all I could ever think of. And I love purple, but man.
I don't know anything about the previous ones aside from we played the multiplayer version of Perfect Dark Zero and you could put skeleton AI in it. Like, that's what you shot. That's all I know about
one
it.
shot us the second our heads popped up. over
Yeah,
the thing.
they were kind of brutal, but yes.
You got to turn the AI down. They're too damn good.
We had to because it was like the second our little heads poke up to go fire, it's boom, we're dead.
Yes.
It's like
Mm-hmm.
I watched
like
that,
rat.
and that trailer made me really wish that I was better at stealth gameplay because I know that's going to be a big big component of that one. And I'm so garbage at stealth gameplay, but I
It's
really
weird.
wish I was good at it.
First thing Baka says, he goes, "Well, Guess the counts are out.
Yeah.
Again, I'll play it for you.
Thanks.
No problem.
Oh, too funny. It looks really good though. Graphically looks good. I like the transversal system that they have built into it. I'm
Chicken
interested
said
to
it's the
see.
people that did. Oh my
I
god.
thought it was, but it's not.
Crisis.
Okay. Chicken said
Yeah.
originally it was. He thought it was the people that did the game that
Mirror's
Red liked.
Edge, because
Thank you.
the movement is so damn similar to Mirror's Edge.
I want to see how fluid it is though. Like it looks really fluid in that shot, but I want to see how
Well,
that
it
feels.
also kind of reminded me a little of how some of the travel worked in. Oh my god, it was super big. The one that was like, we're making this a parkour zombie game, and it was really good.
Dead by Daylight.
No.
Dead by Daylight.
No.
No,
Oh no, I can
Shit.
see
Dying
the.
Light.
Dying
Dying
Light. Thank
Light,
you,
thank
Baka.
you.
Oh,
it had
my
light
goodness.
in it.
I could see
know.
the box art in my head, and I just couldn't see the name. Yes, Dying Light. That's what some of the travel looked like to me.
Yes.
Which,
Traversal looks good. I want to see more of it for sure.
Diablo 4.
Vessel of Hatred.
Mm-hmm. Vessel of Hatred. Great. I don't see how no one can beat Blizzard when it comes to their cinematics, period.
Nope.
It's just so gorgeous.
Absolutely not. Yeah, like the intensity that you get from that, like even if you haven't played the story, you're still going, oh my god.
Oh god,
like
I just want a movie.
Like her,
I want them to make a
arms
whole movie.
Splitting.
Oh my god,
Oh.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I actually had to tell Nuggy to stay over there when it came on because it gave the warning. I was like, you stay over there. You can't watch this one. But
I wonder what class they're adding in. I'm kind of leaning towards maybe they'll throw in Paladin.
Nope. I already know what it is. They
What?
put it up on their
What is-
website. It's called the Spiritborn.
what does that mean?
It's a mystic. Okay. Apex Predators of the Jungle, the Spiritborn is an entirely new class of Diablo series. They are battle hardened with mystical synergies that can only be awakened deep within the jungles of Nahantu, become one with Spiritborn, and embrace the ethereal spirits entwined in this ancient
so
civilization.
it's like the Amazon
Feels like
with
it's gonna be
magic.
Yeah, it feels like a mix between the Druid and an Amazon.
An Amazon and a Druid had a baby, and this is what it's called.
Yeah, not entirely sure. I don't. If I could play the expansion on Game Pass, I'll play it. But if not, I'm not buying it. I think there's a $90 version of the fucking expansion.
Just the expansion, or does the $90 include the original
Jesus.
base game? Because it better for
Do you-
$90.
Do you get a
see Diablo
horse?
4.
I'm just
A
asking.
real one?
Yes, yeah. You get a horse or something.
Or,
Or
no, it's
something.
you get horse armor.
Mm,
Oh, horse skin. And there you go.
Oh,
yeah, horse skin.
the new expansion comes out October the 8th, and Age of Mythology is September the 4th, by the way. So it's also this year.
Look, fall.
Yep. Fall.
Hell
yay,
yeah.
fall.
Fable chicken. Fable.
What's the okay? You guys watched the show. What's
Hold
the,
on, I'm
Okay.
going. I'm watching this list going through here, so Oak is on this list that I've been following. So next,
Fables
Is,
2025 is what I've got next.
Oh.
So Fable
Okay,
for
that might list-
2025 is when it's due to come out.
Is that what it's called? Fable 2020.
No,
Oh,
I'm
okay,
calling
okay.
it. It's saying 2025 is
Okay.
when they're saying it's going to be released. We
Okay.
got a release year.
I just got
They-
confused.
they're doing it right. Like, oh my god, the soft comedy in
The
it
amount of
is-
misdirection in that trailer.
perfect. Yes, so good. I was like, it seems like they're just too obvious about trying to make it look like he's talking about her.
Yeah.
But then right at the end when she taps him on the shoulder, and I was like, yeah, I thought so. So I'm not sure if that's going to be our character, or if they're just using her as a placeholder to kind of show the world, and we get to make our own hero.
I'm sure we get to make our own.
we'll
We've
get
always
our
made our
definitely-
own.
Well, I mean, he's talking to somebody, obviously. That's not her. So
Yeah.
I imagine he's talking to the player character.
I'm interested. I'm interested too because like one of the things they did with the original announcement that they did, but one that was very similar, right? But the guy was a giant that was talking, but we didn't know it until
The end.
they showed
Yeah,
the
until
gameplay
the
part. of it.
end.
And in this case, they did it this way to where you think you're talking about the player character, and it's like not. It's like.
And the way, okay, so at one of the scenes is that he's his young self walking into what it looks like is the guild hall and going,
Mhm.
we could make this place better again or great again. And I'm like, oh, So we get to see, like, he's the new founder of the guild hall, and something has happened, which he's retired, and this lady is a part of the new generation of heroes,
So we
and
have a
whoever he was
continuation
working
from
with.
the first 3 games
Yeah, like
versus a
something
remake.
happened to the guild hall. Well, I guess it would be a remake, but I guess we're gonna have to rebuild the guild hall again with our character to
Right.
stop whoever his partner was and whoever fucked it up. I like it. And the whole little quips from the civilians and whatnot, that is so on brand for Fable. Hey, I'm like your biggest fan. Hey, yeah, I hate you, but good job.
We're in a
Now
club.
go
It's like a
away.
fan club, but we hate you. It's like, yeah, I'm part of
Like,
those.
respect. I like it.
Uh,
And then you
Too
pull out
funny.
the like head of a boss that you slain. You're like, see, I'm awesome. And they're like, yeah, I still don't like you anymore. Good job though. Go away.
There's
Yeah,
a
but in
toad.
order to
There's
kill the
always a
boss, you
toad.
destroyed like 6 houses.
At least the monster won't destroy a 7th, right?
Right.
Right.
He wasn't
Right.
going to. We just had to pay him a toll every like month.
That is what I call the gray area. But yeah, that looks good, and I'm excited for it. Everything around it is looking pretty. I want to see more like real gameplay of it too.
Right.
It probably is going to play pretty well too, if I had to guess.
And it looks so good in that engine. I mean, the cars look fantastic in Forza, so it's like, people look
Mhm.
fantastic in that too. The next one is Fragpunk.
that's what I was gonna ask you about. What's the deal with that? Because the art cover thingy.
Did you
looks
watch
cute.
the trailer of it?
No, I didn't. I didn't watch that one.
Okay,
Okay,
okay. So it's a hero shooter, a 5v5 hero shooter with specialty cards. You get to equip them when you start the game, and then you can use them. I think they're only one-time use per game. That completely changes the rules of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, like one of them changes the like no matter where you're playing, if you pop it, it changes the environment entirely. Like if you're playing on a bridge or something and you pop it, it'll spawn grass and trees everywhere and giant bushes so that it changes the environment. You're not playing on a bridge anymore, you're playing in grasslands on the bridge. Different things to change how your attacks are. You can do instant kills, like do AoE kills with the death card. You shoot somebody and it spawns death behind him, and if you don't move out of his radius, you die instantly.
Oh, that's gross.
So, oh, there's also the world flip, which turns the world upside down. You basically fight on the ceiling.
Please don't do that. I don't like that. I don't like when things do that.
Messes you up totally.
Yeah, I don't care for
I've
the
got- I'm pretty sure my monitors have an option to be able to flip them internally, by the way, like on the actual monitor itself, not inside Windows. And I need a quick button for when I'm playing the game. Boop.
Oh,
Why
there's
is he
big
so
head
good?
mode too. Makes their head big. It's like
Yeah, the
it's
big
like all
head
the
mode.
all the comic or all the funny stuff that we used to do back in the day.
Yep.
Except they turned them into cards, which you can activate in the middle of
Is there an
combat.
odd
Which
job
either
card where you turn into the smallest character in the game and nobody can hit you?
there probably is. If I had to guess, there's probably one where you break and turn to half your size, and you run around.
Oh, it'd be mad.
Most
A
likely.
golden gun where you just one shot everyone.
There you
I'm
go.
sure there's a
The
card for
golden
that
deagle.
too. It's probably called one tap, one kill, but it's only one bullet. So if you miss,
And if you team kill with it, then you die. It's
yeah,
like
probably.
in TTT.
TTT.
Mhm.
Next one's Winter Burrow, which is basically a mouse survival game. That's the only way I
It's
can
pretty
make it.
neat.
Oh, there
It's pretty
It's
cute.
really good. Like it reminds me of a children's book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Like the
that definitely looks like the art style from books that I read in Nugget.
Yep, it's a very cute game.
the next one is the mixtape, which is a CD. Uh,
The
it
playlist.
looks like it's set in the 90s. The plot line the way that they've presented the plot line makes it look like a really fun adventure with a bunch of kids and all that type of stuff. But I'm interested to see how the actual gameplay part is. Like how do you play that game?
I didn't see the trailer, so I don't have any guesses yet.
So it's
But it's got that Spider-Man style of art to it again.
Oh.
The cell
like-
shading
like-
style.
Well, that and the low frames and shit like that.
yeah, the low frame is the main thing on that one. They have a And the soundtrack though is awesome. Like the soundtrack's like late 80s, early 90s. It's got like Smashing Pumpkins and it's got Roxanne. Like it's got a bunch of different stuff in it. So I'm excited for that just for the music
Put a
alone.
Smashing Pumpkin song in my head, and I hate it.
Next was after that was they have given us a release date for the new Microsoft's Flight Simulator for 2024.
So hopefully sometime this year.
November the 19th.
Oh, okay. So they almost didn't make it.
Yeah, November the 19th is when they have that one set up. It looks gorgeous, but it also set up to where like you'd land and like somebody got out and had a camera and took a picture of a deer. And I'm like, wait, so we can get out of them now? Like we can land somewhere and actually
It's no
spend
longer like
time?
Forza. You can actually leave the vehicle at some point.
Like, oh, okay. Of course that
Yeah,
will
but
be
you
on
need a
Game Pass.
goddamn beast of a PC to run that really well. You can run it for sure, but to run it,
I need to fire
super-
it back up just to see how it runs on this one.
yeah.
The other one. ESO, they announced the I think it's called Gold Road or Golden Road or something
The
like that.
Golden Road. I think
Golden Road's
that's
the
it.
new expansion for it. That's June 18th. So for those that play ESO on it. Life is Strange got a new one coming out called Double Exposure.
Okay, this one I was watching. I was like, "Oh man, this looks very familiar." And I heard the narrator start talking. I was like, "Oh," and then it played out the story thing, and I was like, "Oh, okay, this is pretty interesting." And then she took off her hood and whatnot, and I was like, "Oh shit! Oh hell yeah!" Because the first Life
Yeah.
is Strange was super good.
Right.
Like it was really good, a very very well told story, all the way to the end. Like it was heartbreaking but super good. So getting our main character back again and kind of seeing how she's grown up or how it's kind of developed over the years, it's going to be interesting to see how this one. So it's nice
However,
to
how
see our
unfortunate is
magic.
it that our same main character makes another best friend and the same thing happens again?
Yeah, but it's like can we save her this time or like it'll be interesting to see what kind of route and decision making they kind of push to the end of the story on this one.
Right.
Because you can't end it the same way you ended the first one. You just can't.
No,
I guess we'll find out.
definitely not. With a tornado? What?
Hey now.
The next one's Indiana Jones, which also has a 2024 release date, supposedly. We did actually get gameplay on this one, though,
Well, there you go.
unlike
Ooh.
Dragon Age. So I thought it looked good. I was excited for the gameplay, the way it was set up, the first person view that they have, and the plot line looked cool, the way it was done. If you read the comments section in like the bottom of this page, and that's one of the ones that everybody's ripping on for graphics. I thought graphically it looked really good, and I'm like, what were y'all watching this on?
I thought it looked
Because-
okay. I will say that the combat, like the whole combat animation style, kind of felt a little heavy.
I would agree with that.
Like it felt a little heavy. Like even the whip just kind of like didn't have that nice little swinging realistic crack to it. It was just kind of like blah, boom. I was like, okay, it feels good. It's probably going to be more of a storytelling game than an action game, which is fine. I think that you're not going to be able to make a good, strong action adventure game out of Indiana Jones because it feels like more of a storytelling version of Uncharted. Where Uncharted back in the old day, it was like send waves and waves of enemies, like thousands of enemies in each zone that you got to mow down and move to the next one. That just doesn't feel Indiana Jones to me.
No,
So
definitely not.
I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, I
Hey,
think
it's Bethesda, so probably Game Pass.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
I
Game
think
Pass.
most of these are going to be Game Pass. Almost
Yeah,
all
they're
of
Game
them are
Pass.
going to be Game Pass, if I'm not mistaken.
Announcement that happened happened Friday and happened today. Mecha Break, which is like a Mech Warrior style PvP shooter. It looks like some type
Mhm.
of
Like Titanfall?
It's a multiplayer mech game.
except there's no humans.
Well,
Oh, okay.
Mhm. Where Titanfall has both.
It looks very
Uh,
similar to Gundam Wing.
yeah,
Oh.
Yeah.
that's what I said earlier. I was like, this looks like fucking Gundam next, and
Yeah, it does.
So that means that you and Ollie will
Ooh.
be playing it.
And then we got Wu Chang Fallen Feathers.
Woo!
This is chickens.
This one, I was watching it and I was like, holy shit. And it's like, it looks good, looks incredible. And then it kind of reveals the main character. And I'm like, oh my God, is this Sekiro 2? No, it's not Sekiro 2. It's Wu Chang Fallen Feathers. But the combat, like all the animations just instantly click Sekiro in my head. Like it's just like, it looks so good. And it looks just like it. And even at the end, she's like, I can't die. It's just in my blood. And I'm like, well, yeah, because you're Wolf's daughter. It's, it's just your bloodline is badass. The parrying too, just all around it looks good. Like even when she parries and whatnot, it looks like how Wolf does his parrying in Sekiro. But she does get to use a lot of different weapons, so it feels like it's gonna lean a little bit more towards Neo instead of Sekiro, but maybe a little Bloodborne. But we'll see. I am fucking interested. Sold.
Cool.
Awesome.
Give me game, and I think it's on Game Pass too, so absolutely sold.
Yeah, that's easy right there.
Oh yes, easy. It'll be downloaded day one, and I will play the shit out of it.
And that wins 2025 is what I got a note on.
25.
Another game releasing this year under the Microsoft Studios stuff coming from Obsidian. It's going to be Avowed.
I watched the
I get to see
trailer for
more
that.
stuff.
I'm not sure. Like, I don't have a lot of basis with Obsidian because a lot of people are like, oh, they're the most fantastic RPG out there because we love New Vegas. But I never played New Vegas, so the only Obsidian game I've played was The Outer Worlds, which I thought was okay. It didn't blow me away the way a lot of other people were blown away by it. So I don't know what to...
I thought it was okay.
I mean, that's the thing is, like, I thought it was okay. I didn't think that it was, like, groundbreaking or the most amazing RPG I've ever seen or, that it really did something super outside the box.
You would be like at a 7 instead of like a 9, is basically what you're saying.
I'd probably 6 or 7 for Outer Worlds. I felt some of it was a little too slow, and there was a little too much empty space where you didn't actually have to do anything. But Avowed looks neat, but it also is one of those where it's like, there are 3 paths here, and every one of them is lying to you in one way or the other. You must pick which one you think is, the way to go. I'm interested, but I don't know if I'm gonna like it. But hey, it's on Game Pass,
I mean,
so it's not.
it's
not
yeah, I was
gonna
gonna say perks of Game Pass.
Yeah.
You don't have to commit.
exactly.
Which I think Microsoft is hitting the nail on the head with that. There are so many reasons why we're trepidatious about buying games these days that they're like, play it on Game Pass. You don't like it? Cool. You got other options. But in order to get our games into people's hands, there has to be an accessible way for us.
Well, and that's Avowed is a great example because it's not a game I would buy, but if I can play it without the commitment, then it may be something that I do eventually add to a Steam library because it might rotate off of Game Pass or whatever. Also, I think the art looks really cool. I really like it. It looks good. So.
Agreed.
They're on the PC game show. They're showing off Killing Floor 3.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Is
So
that why
I've been
everybody's
kind of
distracted?
watching.
Yeah, that's why I keep looking up there.
Yeah, they're showing all the stuff. It's early 2025, so get ready. It's right around the corner. So
That's quick. That's nice.
Uh,
The next one I have is remake of Fallout 1. I mean, Atom Falls, what this one's called. Atom Falls, sorry.
Oh, okay. I thought you were being serious, and I was like, I don't
No.
see that on any of these lists. Where's that at?
No, it's called Atom Fall. When you watch the video, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's
mhm.
it's kind of, I guess it's basically, it almost looks like a fan-made game of, I mean, like in a good way, but like it just, somebody's like, I really like Fallout, and I haven't had a Fallout game since Fallout 4 because I didn't like Fallout 76 because it was released horribly. Let me make my own game. That's what it reminds me of.
Interesting. Well, I'm definitely gonna watch the trailer after this.
It looks good for sure.
Yeah, it really
like
does
I was
look
like,
good.
wow, this feels like this is definitely. I was convinced that it was a Fallout game.
Yes.
Like watching it, I was like, man, this looks like a Fallout game. No, it's Atom Fallout. Oh, okay, that's fine. At least it's close enough.
Atom Fall.
Atom Fall.
You gotta cut the out
Atom
off.
Fall. Atom Fall out of this world.
Ooh.
We got a little bit of footage, some more footage of Assassin's Creed Shadow.
I didn't watch
It is
that one
what it
either.
is.
That wasn't on my original
It's pretty
list.
neat. I
It
will
looked good.
say that they in the trailer they did a great job showing the strengths of each of the characters and kind of defining them early.
Does that one
I
have
agree
a
with that.
release date?
November the 15th.
Okay.
Yeah. Like your stealthy shinobi who's just small, quiet, fast, and then you've got the beast of a samurai who just like busts out of a building and like knocks 3 or 4 other guys down. He's like just an absolute animal. Like, it's like, wow, I really like that kind of diverse play style. You can kind of swap.
That is
little
like the
bit.
duality of how Chicken and I work as a couple. That is exactly how it is.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm very subtle and I've got this.
She's
And I'm
a
like,
beast who
break
just
everything!
like charges at the.
Destroy!
You play the male character, I'll play the female character.
Too funny. Then you have Stalker 2. Finally got a release date, September the 5th for Stalker 2,
Hell yeah.
which is pretty awesome. And
And
then the final thing that I've got here is Gears
Is
of
it that
War E-Day.
I wept. Like I wept, tears welled up. That was a trailer. I was so convinced all the way up to that point. I was like, "Oh yeah, this is pretty fucking good. This is pretty good." I wonder what they're going to do. This is either going to blow everybody out of the way with this finale, or it's just going to be underwhelming. And the trailer started, and I was like, "Oh shit, this is good." And we got Gears of War finally. Gears of War 6, maybe we're gonna finally do something. And I was like, "Man, he looks young." Okay, I don't know why he looks so young. Why the hell is he getting his ass beat so badly? He's supposed to be experienced. Something's off here. And it plays through the whole thing, and he wins, and he gets saved because he's hanging on for dear life. And I'm like, my heart.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. One of the best duos in gaming history. Come on. We get another game with them.
Yes.
Like, and we get the beginning with them. We get to see their start, which is going to make Gears of War 3 that much harder to replay.
I think it's
But-
interesting too. It says a lot in the fact that, you know, the last Gears game, they went just Gears. Everybody just called it Gears. They stopped
Yeah.
saying Gears of War. And soon as it popped Gears of War up at the top, I went, okay. And then it said E-Day, and I went, okay, we're starting.
sold.
We got a prequel
We're-
going on. They bought
Hell
back into
yeah.
Gears of War. Okay. Okay.
Oh,
I'm good with
it's
this.
E-Day. It is E-Day. It is the fucking start of it. I'm sold. Like, I will, as soon as that shit hits Game Pass, I'm downloading it and we will play it, Griff. Marcus Phoenix and Dom at it again.
I
We get to
was-
see the beginning of their story.
I was watching it and I was like, don't be sad, don't be sad. You know what happens to him. He survives. Don't be sad, don't be sad. I'm fine, I'm fine. And then they showed Dom and I'm like, I'm crying.
I'm not fine.
I'm not okay.
Oh.
I know what happens to him. I'm not okay anymore.
Playing Gears 3, like, it just heartbreaking at that point because you play so much from 1, 2, 3 all the way through. Those two are fucking brothers.
I will say,
And then-
like, of all the shooter games, like, cursory glances at a lot of shooter games, you're like, yeah, nobody's gonna cry at that one. Nobody's gonna cry at that one. Like, Gears of War is one of those franchises where you're like, that's not gonna tell you a real story that you're gonna be, like, super upset by. And then they're like, oh yeah, watch this. Here's 1, here's 2, here's 3. Now get out. Now go get your tissues. We bought stock in Kleenex. Go on.
I was
So-
reading
so
the
good.
comments before the show, and I was pissed for a little bit. And then everybody got in, and I'm like, okay, I'm good right now. But one of the guys, because I don't understand why we still have a console war shit going on when everybody's moving to PC anyway.
I know,
But-
right?
But everybody going, because all the Xbox guys were like 10 out of 10. Some people were like, I give it an 8 out of 10. I'm a big Xbox guy, but I give it 8 out of 10. Somebody else goes, are you kidding me right now? Indiana Jones looks like trash, but it does look like that Xbox people finally figured out that there's third person view is also fun, since y'all don't ever buy Xbox games that are third person. And I'm like, have you
Gears of War
forgot
is
the
a franchise.
Not to mention Fable. There's 3 games that are there too. Like, we
Yeah.
have third person game. Are you kidding me right now? You got a whole fucking franchise that's third person. Are you serious?
I guess
Yeah,
it's
Whatever.
because really hardcore Sony people maybe still only think the only franchise available to us is Halo, which is first person. Is that,
I think they think of us as first person view. Yeah. And then when you've got like
well,
Indiana
I mean, to
Jones,
be fair,
it's now first
FPS
person,
is
not third.
great.
Yeah. I love FPS.
Not to
games.
mention, let's talk about how much
You
everybody
just don't
cried
like
when
third
Call of
person
Duty
because
was
you-
gonna not be on Sony because, oh my god, Xbox is buying them. You guys were that heartbroken over losing an FPS. If you're
Mhm.
that tied to third person, you'd be playing something else. I'm sorry. I got wrapped
You
up.
just don't like third person because you suck at platforming.
No, I like third person. I mean, the Gears of War, like, that is a huge franchise for me.
Do you play Fallout in third or first person?
I play in first person because Bethesda games feel weird to have the camera movement feels weird to me in third person for that.
That's fair.
I will say, Phil Smith, like when they first came out and they started announcing Call of Duty, he definitely threw some blows for the first time since, I don't know, 2015.
10 years.
For the first time in 10 years, you're going to have access to Call of Duty across the board on everything at the same time.
The version of the game at the same
Yeah.
time. The same version, same time. And I was like,
He
yes.
was 100% fucking throwing hard shade. Like, I mean, he threw full trees at Sony on that one.
He
Like,
did. And there
yeah.
and I watched the Black Ops thing afterwards. I did make some notes on it too. Not plot line wise. I'll see more of that when we get to that point. It's going to be on Game Pass, so we're good there. But they are adding some stuff to the games that I don't understand why it took this long to get to. One of them is called Omni Movement. So when you go into a prone position in a game, a shooter, normally you drop down in, you're in the prone position. If you turn around, you can't. Your body just does this, right? The whole
Yes.
thing just does this. Now, with the Omni view, you'll actually, like an actual human does, roll over on your back and be looking at the person to shoot.
Shit, what game did that? Shit. Oh my god.
Um,
There's a game.
I
Damn,
don't
I can't
know.
think of which one.
But this
did
will
that.
allow you to be able to do your slides left and right now. They're making it to where you can sprint left, right, backwards, and forwards
Oh,
now.
it's like strafe sprinting.
Yeah.
So, and then they have a thing that they called intelligent movement that they're adding into it as well, which will allow you to be able to move more human-like in the way that it's done. And you can, it will affect the intelligent movement affects, so like your parkour part of the game, mainly. So, and you can adjust the sliders on that as well, to kind of, so you're not pushing as many buttons to try to get to, like if you're trying to hop over a wall or something like that, you're not having to hit twice. The intelligent movement will know, okay, he's trying to hop over a wall. We're going to go ahead and send him over the top of the wall. So it's, but if you want the other way, so it doesn't automatically do it and you're not trying to do it, you can set it to where you can turn that off too. So it's an option on, option off thing, which I thought was pretty neat. They've increased the amount of hit spots on the body. So instead of just having 4 spots basically in the head, they've now increased it to 9. So the NPCs, or even the if you're playing in multiplayer, the characters will fall differently depending on where you hit them. So if you hit them in the leg, they're going to react accordingly versus just, just falling in a random way, even though you hit them in the leg. They're bringing the old style Prestige back from back in the day.
Oh,
Another
nice.
thing that I do not understand why it took this long to get, they're going to let you customize your HUD. So
Wow.
what's on the screen, and they specifically mentioned streamers for this. This way, the streamer can leave their camera where they normally would and move the HUD accordingly, so the everybody can see it. Or if they wanted to hide where they were on a map or something like that, it would allow them to be able to do that too, because they can put without having to move their camera. They could just move the mini map or take the mini map off. And then since there's going to be 10 maps on release, Zombies is going to back to round based. I know you all probably don't know this, but for those that played Modern Warfare 3, they went to more of an open world style of zombies. So it was like on a very large map, and you go through and have missions and stuff to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Old Man plays a lot of, versus the old round style, like when they first started World of War, where you'd go in and you between each round you would stack back up and wait for the next round to start. They're going back to that. So those are some highlights for those people that want to play some Black Ops. But I thought the being able to actually roll over and shoot somebody, and it's the same thing too. If you go prone, Like, let's say you jump and
Oh,
you go
Resident Evil
prone-
6. That finally clicked in my head. Resident Evil 6, you could slide, and then you basically can do the entire 360 move around, roll, and kind of shoot and like backwards.
Really?
It seems like, yeah. Like
So
I was
why
like
is it taking
suddenly
this long? I mean, when did that come out?
like 2012, 2013.
been a
But yeah,
while.
that's why I was like,
So
man, there
over
was a
10
game
years,
that I
and they're just now putting it in a multiplayer game.
yeah, you could run and then slide and shoot, like aim like that, and then you can roll to the left and to the right, and you can kind of scoot around and then turn, and like you have full mobility while you're on the ground. Why is it so long for Call of Duty to get that?
I don't know, like any shooter
because
like that.
it was implemented in a game that actually has a fucking story.
To be fair, so did Call of Duty in 2013.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call 4 hours a story. I'm sorry.
Well, in 2013, it was
story.
a lot longer than 4 hours,
Short
but
story.
Uh,
Short story.
those were about 10, 12-hour campaigns. So,
That's more like a summary, Griff.
Okay, look here. It's an essay at best. My bad.
too funny.
Look,
All right,
if
anything
they didn't
else?
want to be made fun of.
I think that hits all of that
I
stuff.
mean, you covered
and
more
the
stuff
other
than I had
stuff.
seen on the page I was looking at, so obviously I don't have anything else.
Yeah, I think that's most of that stuff, and then Friday's stuff, and a couple of the things from the PC that we were watching that kind of caught my eye. Other than that, there's just a lot of games announced at the PC thing. So many titles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back through some of that and see if any of it looks interesting because I have not been paying global attention.
That's why I
to that.
watch it on
Yeah, neither
YouTube,
have
so
I.
I can just pause it and go back where I need to.
Mhm. Yeah,
to be
I've been watching, and it's just kind of like, yeah, there's a lot of titles, but there's a lot of titles because it's for PC, and you know, a lot of indie developers are on PC. So
Right.
uh,
Definitely. Don't have to worry about porting anything.
yeah. But
Make it
yeah,
brief.
I think that's all the main games. It was great for Microsoft. It was pretty decent for everybody else, but Microsoft did pretty good. I'll give
I
it
thought
to
they
them.
did really well. I really do. I feel like the fact that we've got a good amount of games coming out in 2024 that's going to be on Game Pass helps them a lot. I think that they're releasing expansions for games that they already have that exist. Complaints that you have with Starfield was the fact that it was a little more empty than it needed to be. So now you're adding content to it. So and they're continuing to support games that they have. So that's kind of nice. I mean, I am interested, and I think the Black Ops being on Game Pass is big, huge news too. Like it's not that big
Yes.
for us because it's one of those like I'll play it because I enjoy playing the multiplayer stuff like that, but I know it's big when it comes to the industry because I don't think it's going to sell consoles. Let me be fair. It's not going to sell consoles, but I do think that people that are on PC are going to be like, okay, well, I don't think I'm going to get the Steam version of this. If I could just get not pay $70 for a damn game and instead just do it on Game Pass and then put my money, because they're going to pay for battle passes and all that shit. It saves them money
Mhm.
by a lot, so they're not out $60-$70 right off the bat. But all right, anything else?
No.
That's good for me.
I had to think about it.
You had to think about it. We appreciate everybody that hangs out with us every other week at Different Respawn. We are going back to every other week.
Yeah, not
so
next
don't
week.
suspect-
Next
it'll be
week's
the
also
weekend.
Father's Day weekend, so
Yeah, so it
Yep.
works out really good for us. But also make sure you hit that sub button, the little bell down at the bottom. Do that and go to twitch.tv/EliteChicken313. They'll start back up in the fall. That way you already hit the follow button, ready to go. Make sure you go to twitch.tv/MDBOaktree, where I'm on every Sunday. And then starting back this coming week, I did 2 this past week, but we're going to try to get back a regular schedule coming this coming week. So we'll see how that goes. And we're playing Icarus again, and we're playing some Fallout 76,
woo,
and we're playing playing
some stuff.
X Defiant, some different games, trying different
Hell
stuff
yeah.
out. So hop on in. For Infinite Respawn, I'm Oaktree.
I'm Griff.
I'm Chicken.
I'm Bucket.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Please hang up and try again.